Hey guys, how you doing today? It's Barb with Bows on Edge. Um, I have a there's my dogs. Anyway, I have a very, very short story for you. I tried to find as much information as I could on it, and to be honest, I wasn't finding very much. But it has to do, guys, I am so sick of parents killing their children. I'm sick of it. Why have them if you're going to abuse them and or kill them? You give birth to that child if you cannot keep it or do not want it. Foster care, adoption, a family member. I don't care what you do. Stop having kids if you don't want them. So tired of it. So this story has to do with a mom that killed her two sons. Doesn't seem that there was a particular reason for it. She just did it. But it makes me sick. So let's get into it here a little bit. She lived in Kentucky. She's 33 years old. Her name is Tiffany Ann Catherine Lucas. And at first, she blames her alleged sugar daddy for manipulating her into murdering her two sons. She claimed that the man had been manipulating her mind for 3 years and drove her to kill her children. The shift in blame comes after Tiffany was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences for the murder of her son Maurice Peanut Baker Jr., who was 6 years old, and Jaden Howard, who was 9 years old. During her trial, Tiffany pled guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder, which, as we know, is the most serious homicide offense and is defined as an intentional, unlawful killing that is both premeditated and willful. That pretty much sums it up, what she did. So it involves malice and a forethought, and the killer must have the specific intent to end a human life. And yeah. Premeditation can include planning the murder before it happens or lying in wait for the victim. Now, in a video with a detective with the county sheriff's office, they asked her why she murdered her kids. Her response was, "I would never do something like this unless someone manipulated me." She went on to say that she had a sugar daddy who had been manipulating her over the phone and reportedly told her that she should kill her kids, as well as giving her the gun to do so. Well, by all means, he doesn't want the kids around, so go ahead and kill him because he said so. Fucking bitch. He's been putting stuff up in my house. Real evil, dark, weird stuff. Then take it the hell down if you don't want it there. The woman insisted that she was a good woman and a really good mom. Pay attention to that part. And she said, "I feel like it's not me. I'm right with God, so it's not me. I'm not in my mind. It's not me. It just isn't." Okay. Tiffany has yet to admit to the slaying, nor could she tell police how many shots were fired. Well, that was at that time she said that. She said, "I have no words. It was previously reported that she allegedly believes that gaming consoles, such as a PlayStation and YouTube videos, manipulate the minds of children. I know I look crazy, but I'm not crazy," she said. "I love my children. I love my boys so much. I wouldn't have hurt them, but I just felt like I was letting them play the video games and I wasn't like focusing on how I was supposed to, you know." No, I don't know. Video games and YouTube, the kids, it just messes their minds up to where people can manipulate their parents or do whatever they want. In the video, she later admits to firing 4 shots in 30 seconds, claiming it was an accident. Bullshit. Bullshit. She also claimed that she was manipulated through Facebook, through the internet, or through Wi-Fi into doing what she did. So it's everybody else's fault, not hers. It was reported that despite the heinous nature of her crime, she showed no sign of remorse and instead became preoccupied with the deputy's hand gestures during interrogation. So this was annoying her. During the interview, she admonished the officer, "I'm watching you on camera. Move your fingers several times. You just keep moving them. Stop. I'm watching. It's not right." The harrowing incident unfolded as Tiffany's neighbor called 911 on November 8, 2023, after discovering Tiffany in a state of distress in her driveway, wailing that her children were dying. Why were you in the driveway? Because you knew you just murdered your kids. You knew you didn't want them anymore. So why were you going to stick around in the house with them, right? You're going to go lay in your driveway and scream and holler. Makes sense. Oh, God. Responding officers discovered that both boys had suffered fatal gunshots to their heads. Tiffany had been heading towards a December murder trial in the deaths of her sons, and she appeared in court and was sworn in. She confirmed that her testimony would be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The judge asked her a series of questions. He said, "Do you suffer now, or have you ever suffered from any mental illness or defect which would affect your ability to think or reason?" She said, "No, sir." He followed up with, "At this time, are you ill or are you in any way impaired in your judgment?" She said, "No, sir." "Are you under the influence of alcohol or any other type of drug?" Again, she said, "No, sir." She was confirming that she understood what was happening and that by pleading guilty, she was waiving her right to a jury trial and her right to appeal. In September, her defense team indicated that their strategy would contend she was not legally sane at the time of the shooting. Tiffany acknowledged that she entered an open plea, meaning she was guilty of 2 murders without a plea deal or sentencing recommendation from the prosecutors. The judge noted that when he sentences her, she will face 20 to 50 years behind bars or life in prison on both murder counts, and that will be within his discretion to decide whether punishments will run consecutively or concurrently. Well, it shouldn't matter. 50 years on each murder. She's not getting out anyway. The victim's Aunt Bobby, her name is Bobby Baker, said after the hearing that she was glad that Tiffany was found guilty, but hoped that the judge would ensure she will never get out of prison. Bobby said to her, she called her a monster, and she said at the end of the day, that's all you were to them. That's what you became to them. Now, it turns out that Tiffany had another son, an older son who lived on his own. His name is Darrell. And remember in the beginning when she claimed, "I'm a good mom. I love my kids. I'm a good mom." Well, Darrell says that the family repeatedly called Child Protective Services on her with their concerns of how well the child would be taken care of and how safe they were. Darrell says that he just wished that he snatched the boys and that they didn't have a good home life, that he wanted the children and other relatives wanted the children, that she didn't have to resort to what she did. And he said, "We wanted them. We would have taken them with open arms. We loved them so much." And he says, "I should have done more, If it came to snatching the boys out of the house, I should have, and I will hold that on my back for the rest of my life. For both boys. I feel bad for him. I really do. That is going to be a lot of guilt that he's going to carry around for the rest of his life because he's going to feel like he didn't do enough. But there's certain situations that you can't control, that you don't have a hold of. Howard and Jaden shared the same dad, and he died in 2019. Darrell says that he was sure that their dad was waiting with open arms for them, but he was reminiscing a little bit about his very last visit that he had with his brothers, and he said they played a card game, just a simple card game together, and how much fun that they were having. They had a blast playing with him. And I guess the boys were also saying how much they wanted to play football just like their big brother did. So hopefully they're up there playing football, having fun with their dad and whatever other relatives are up there with them. But it's just a sad story. No, it didn't matter. Doesn't matter how much information you can dredge up about a story. It's just sad. It's very sad. I do want to say though, guys, listen, if you suspect child abuse, I don't care if it's a family member, a neighbor, a friend, I don't care. If you suspect child abuse, call the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4A-CHILD, which is 1-800-422-4453, or you can go to the website at www.childhelp.org. All calls are free, and the hotline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't care what you suspect is going on. I don't care how little it is. If those children are being mistreated, you need to call. And call as many times if you have to call. We need to stop this cycle of parents killing their children, abusing their children. It has to stop. And it can't stop without your help. That's all I got to say. Leave your comments down below. I'd appreciate it. If you guys haven't already done so, I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. It really helps me. And hit that thumbs up button for me and that notification bell so that you know the next time that I do upload a video. Till then, guys.